Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. My name is Marcellus Duke. I'm a director with AT&T, and I'm responsible for our server instantiation. So we build and deploy all the compute servers to our production operations. I am joined by my colleague, Uttam Dravidam, and he's responsible for our instantiation for our cloud solution. And what we're here to talk about today is overcoming deployment challenges as it specifically relates to cloud. And how do we do that and deliver high quality quickly? That is the subject of our message today. What we'll do is we'll spend a little bit of time talking about what is cloud at AT&T. We'll talk about deploying cloud at large scale. Then we'll get into the challenges and some of the tactics that we use to overcome those challenges. So at AT&T, if you look at the left side of this slide, AT&T has adopted a model that we call AIC. And A is for the Global and Distributed Cloud, AT&T's Global and Distributed Cloud. It is an integrated solution, and we'll talk more about that. And it is cloud enabled by Openstack. Now, when you look to the right side of the screen, what you'll see is, like everyone else, we're interested in all the reasons one would pursue a cloud solution. You know, we want the increased scale, the increased agility, the increased speed while reducing costs. And we're starting to see evidence and proof that done right, that's exactly what you achieve with the cloud deployment. But most importantly, on the right side of that screen, one of the things that we're accomplishing and achieving is the utilization of a single code base for both our enterprise and our network solutions. So we've got two big goals. We're looking to take our enterprise applications and migrate them to the cloud. And then we're also looking at virtualizing our network functions and running them in the cloud. So it's a massive effort. Talk a little bit about vision and principles. The vision is really sort of depicted on the left side of the screen. The diagram reflects one of the challenges, the first challenges we had to overcome at AT&T. Large organizations with many teams pursuing their own goals toward compute technology, cloud, and other. We had multiple organizations developing cloud solutions, and we had to come together if we were going to reduce our cost structure and manage this implementation effectively. So what we've done is created this concept called AIC. It is the convergence of those multiple cloud solutions that we started out with into a common cloud platform. And for us at AT&T, that common cloud platform is AIC, AT&T Integrated Cloud. Our vision is a high priority on our virtualized network functions. And we've set out some pretty tall goals. Going back to 2015, we had a target to virtualize 6% of our network. As we look to 2016 and move through this year, our goal is to get to 30% of the network functions virtualized and running in our cloud. And as we move beyond that, looking to 2020, futuristic, our goal and our vision is to get 75% of the functions in our network virtualized and running in the cloud. That is significant, it's huge, and we're well on our way. I'll talk about two or three of the key principles on the right side of the screen. And as you know, with cloud, if we can't achieve a self-service capability, then we've really sort of lost the real value of cloud. In order to have true self-service, that means automation of all of the delivery and provisioning functions need to be in place. That's part of our tall challenge, is getting all of the automated solutions in place to enable this capability, to enable this vision. We're working very hard to achieve that. And then security. We can't do anything without security being top of mind. If we can't deliver secure network services, If our applications are not secure, then we fail. So we've got to be secure with everything that we're approaching. And then the final thing there is, if you look at continuous integration, continuous delivery, we have a huge focus on making sure that we adopt agile methodologies where we are iterative, delivering quick solutions, and doing that very fast. And so as an organization, we've got to develop that skill set and that capability so that we can incrementally deliver improved services over time. And then finally, I'll finish with a few comments about the scale challenge at AT&T. We're deploying in a concept called zones. A zone can consist of multiple servers. We have zones of different types. We have a small, a medium, a large. And so our target has been, coming out of 2015, 69 of those zones which we exceeded. As we go through this year, we have a target to be at 100 plus, and we are on track to meet that goal as we stand, although it's a challenge. We are on target to meet that goal. And then as we move into 2017 and beyond, hundreds and hundreds more zones. And this diagram really reflects that we're delivering these zones both domestically in the US and most of the world, which is internationally all around the world. So they're location dependent, they're distributed, and they will consist of thousands and thousands of servers. So we have to be thinking about how do we do this at scale, and what are the issues and the challenges that you run into when you're dealing with scale. I'll now turn it over to Uttam, and he'll talk to us about the challenges and the tactics that we're using to overcome those challenges.
Thank you, Marcellus. Like my partner talked about, when we are deploying in such a large scale with high speed and with high quality, we ran into several challenges. And we are running into several challenges as we speak. We always, overcame through several challenges from different approaches we took. So some of the list of the challenges we ran into when we are deploying in such a large scale with aggressive timelines, we were always under pressure to getting our zones deployed with large scale, around like 200 or 300 servers footprint in each zone to deploy them in aggressive schedule. And we also have an ECOMP. ECOMP is an enhanced control orchestration management policy. That one, we have a unique solution that AT&T developed it last year. Like Austin, if you listened to it, we were the keynote speaker talking about how ECOMP is integrated with AIC. And when we are deploying it, integration of ECOMP and the data control plane, which consists of Keystone as well as Glance. In the data control plane, we separated all the data control plane and the local control planes, where our workloads goes in, where our Nova and our computes run in the local control planes. So we have several local control planes being integrated to data control planes and then to ECOMP. So there is complexity involved with the integration of these zones. And also AT&T vCell network. And when we are talking about deploying in the zones, we have several VLANs to come across and several ports that we need to communicate all the software within the network to communicate to data control plane, ECOMP from the local control plane in different offices within AT&T. And these are global locations we are talking about. So we have a network configuration challenges at each layer that we had to overcome. And the firewalls, we take security very seriously. When we deploy our clouds, we want to make sure that it's secure, and we have to be, at the same time, we do not want it to compromise on our quality of our OpenStack deployments. So we had to develop the firewalls, how to open the firewalls, and all those aspects we ran into challenges. And at the same time, when we are deploying in such a large scale, we take the hardware as well, need to be efficient, making sure that it meets our standards with our security compliance. Like hardware, we are talking about BIOS or firmware upgrades on the servers. So we had a challenge to handle these 200 and 300 servers at once to deploy, how do we do it in faster process, and and at the same time the security tools and the process. So we had different methods we approached it, how to tackle these different challenges. One is we normalized our designs, one design across the board, no matter which solution we are deploying in which zone, one design. And also we had automated from one location to update all our firmware and the BIOS updates. That's a key thing. We were able to develop our efficiencies to do it. And also we had a clean error tracking mechanism. Error tracking mechanism, any issue we run in the deployment, we track those. We take the feedback and we give the feedback to the community, and also internal developers talking about, hey, these are the challenges we are running into, how to overcome them. And also AT&T developed an automated deployment called OpsSimple. OpsSimple, which it does it is, we have a touchless mechanism developing the bootstrapping, the KVMs and all the virtual machines and all the 300 servers without it's called touchless mechanism. We develop an YAML file and then push it through all the servers to do the bootstrap and deploy the OpenStack. And also we take it very seriously with our training of the tools which we develop it, talking to educate our team as a part of our AT&T skills transformation. And also we had organized several boot camps to talk about the deployments we run into, how to use them and how to develop them, and we ran into. And also once we deploy a zone, we wanted to make sure that integrity of the zone is with the features and the hardware, everything is intact. We develop the post-processing, we call it the deployment, the tools to check all the post-processing, whether it's considered as system verification or is the post-processing production testing. So we develop all the several automation tools to do this one. And this is a high-level deployment process. We enable it, how the configuration it runs from the bootstrap and from how the BIOS are updated, how we deploy the non-OpenStack virtual machines to handle our other functions, that to talk about the inventory systems and the bootstrap, the KVM servers, and deploy the OpenStack. And also we, in a short amount of time, we do the system deployment verification and also the validation of the features we develop it. And also before going to production, we ensure that it is operationally ready. And so we have automated tools to validate everything in such a short amount of time with several automated tools we have developed in-house. So thank you very much for attending the presentation.